Love should empower, not ensnare. But what if caring became control, subtly reshaping your world? This story of James and Maria reveals how quiet manipulation can erode identity. Discover the hidden signs of controlling behavior and learn to bravely reclaim your boundaries. It's time to choose genuine connection over quiet sacrifice. James and Maria's apartment was a haven of soft colours and hushed tones, a place where everything seemed perfectly in its place. James, with his gentle spirit, found comfort in the quiet order, unaware of the subtle tightening that was beginning to define his days. Maria's love was a soft whisper, a suggestion here, a redirection there, slowly shaping James's world to her liking. "Are you sure you want to hang out with Liam tonight, James?" Maria would ask, her voice laced with concern. "He can be so unreliable. You don't want to get caught up in his schemes." James hesitated, the desire to see his friend battling with his desire to please Maria. Each gentle suggestion, each carefully worded concern added a layer to the invisible walls around James. He found himself explaining away missed opportunities and distancing himself from old friends, all in the name of maintaining harmony with Maria. But the harmony felt increasingly hollow. When James received a promotion at work, Maria was quick to offer praise, but her words were tinged with a subtle warning. "That's wonderful, darling, but will you have enough time for us? I don't want you to become a stranger." Doubt gnawed at James, whispering that his success might cost him everything. Small edits piled up, evening plans, weekend activities, future aspirations. Maria never demanded, but her suggestions were persistent, her concerns always framed as love and care. James felt himself shrinking, unsure of his own desires, trapped in a web of quiet manipulation. One day, James's sister Sarah called with an invitation to their annual family hiking trip, a cherished tradition that filled James with joy and a sense of belonging. He pictured the open trails, the crisp air, and the laughter of his family. When James mentioned the hiking trip to Maria, her face paled. "I just don't think I can be alone all weekend," she said softly, touching her temple with a delicate hand. "I have this terrible headache. I need you." Instantly, guilt washed over James. Maria looked fragile, the apartment's quiet suddenly heavy with her quiet suffering. He felt the familiar pull to abandon his plans, to stay by her side, to be the devoted partner she expected. He reached for the phone, ready to call his sister and cancel, to explain that he couldn't make it, that Maria needed him. The familiar script of self-sacrifice was already forming in his mind. But then, as Maria settled on the couch, her phone's dark screen caught his eye.
In the brief reflection, James saw her glance at herself, the hint of a smile flickering away like a shadow.
In that fleeting moment, James understood. Maria's illness wasn't real. It was a tool, a silent way to keep him by her side, to control his actions under the guise of love. The realization hit him like a cold wave. The anxiety, the confusion, the shrinking, it was all connected to this quiet manipulation. He felt a surge of anger, but beneath it a flicker of something else, a fragile hope for freedom. Taking a deep breath, James lowered the phone.
"I'm sorry you're not feeling well," he said gently, his voice shaky but steady. "But I need to go on this trip. I'll call you from the trail to check in."
Maria's eyes widened, unsettled for the first time in a long while. Her carefully constructed world of control was beginning to crack. James felt a flicker of fear at her reaction, but pushed it down. This small act of defiance felt enormous, like stepping out into sunlight after a long night. That weekend on the trail, surrounded by the vast open sky and the sound of rustling leaves, James's tangled anxiety began to unwind. He breathed deeply, filling his lungs not with the weight of quiet control, but with freedom. He walked among the trees, each step grounding him, each breath clearing his mind. The worries that had consumed him seemed to shrink in the face of the mountain's majesty. He thought about the balance between love and self, about kindness that lifts rather than limits. He realized that true love should empower, not control. Returning home, James knew the quiet editing might continue, but so would his new strength to speak softly for himself.
To ask for respect, to set gentle boundaries.
He practiced in his mind the gentle words he would use, the clear boundaries he would set. He would be kind, but he would also be firm. The next morning, as Maria began to subtly redirect his plans for the day, James gently but firmly spoke up.
I appreciate your concern, Maria, but I've already made plans,
He said, his voice calm but unwavering. Maria's reaction was a mix of surprise and hurt. She wasn't used to James pushing back. I just want what's best for you, James, she said, her voice laced with a hint of woundedness. James met her gaze with kindness and understanding. I know you do, Maria, he replied, but I need to make my own choices. Over time, the dynamic between them began to shift. James continued to assert his boundaries, and Maria, though resistant at first, slowly began to respect his needs. They learned to communicate more openly, to express their needs and desires without manipulation or control. James began to rediscover the parts of himself that he had lost, the friendships he had neglected, the hobbies he had abandoned. He realized that nurturing himself was not selfish, but essential for a healthy relationship. And in that quiet, steady step towards selfhood, James found the truest kind of love, one where caring means freeing, not controlling. Their apartment, once a space of quiet control, became a sanctuary of mutual respect and genuine connection.